like I want to play a creature in my deck, I have to think about Dismember. And like the only creature is worth playing is Hawk because like it searches up for more and like makes the Dismembers like weaker. And Spell Sky is just amazing against the like twin and like mono red.
Right.
So it's really good. Yeah, like
for sure. It's just like a 4-drop that doesn't do enough. It's expensive and it dies to Dismember. It gets countered by mana into the Royal. Just like too many things answered and it doesn't do enough.
And that's why you guys have these Spell Skies now that are good against blue red twin matchup. Yeah. They really help out against like all those removal spells.
Red 2 is really good against.
Were you happy with the 3 Spell Skies all weekend? Would you have to change that number at all, or?
No, it was fine.
3 was really good. Like your best draws involve a turn 2 Spellskite, and like Spellskite Sword of Feast and Famine with an Inkmoth Nexus is impossible to beat for almost anyone. You have to have 2 removal spells on turn 4, you know. And Spellskite Jace Bellerin is also just really good. You just protect your Jace. And
like a 0-4 blocker just to jump to like
hugely ahead.
Block
and
it basically blocks all the fast creatures in the format. Like nothing is 4 power really.
Right. I mean, against like the quick decks, since like for example Red, like you played it in the semifinals, like having a quick Spellskite, it could be very important in those matches.
And my opponent was playing 4 main deck Flame Slashes as well as like 4 Manic Vandals in the sideboard because like Spellskite's such a huge problem for mono red.
You mentioned Jace Bellerin, Edgar. So something that you guys had that Tim didn't have last week were the 3 Jaces. Yeah. How good were those for you guys?
Jace is amazing.
Incredible. I can't believe anyone's not playing
Nobody's playing it. It doesn't make sense. Like Jace the Mind Sculptor got banned, so Jace Bellerin should be like the new best Planewalker.
Especially when you've got like once again Spellskite to sit behind.
Yeah, you're right. You go your turn 2 Hawk into turn 3 Jace, or like turn 2 Hawk into like Sword. Like those are like really good curves.
Yeah.
And you guys were happy with your numbers on that? 2 Gideon Jura, 3 Jace Bellerin?
Yeah,
like,
I think
last night we were like debating, we were talking about because we stayed in the same room, we were talking about the deck, and like I was very close to cutting the Gideons for like playing another faster card. But then I like Gideon because like it's just good against basically most of the deck. It's even good against Splinter Twin because if you cast it and it resolves, you plus it and they can't kill you. They have to kill Gideon.
Right.
Or if they counter it, they don't kill you because they have to like tap out to counter it. So it's decent.
Yeah.
So the one interesting card here in the main deck, Timely Reinforcements, is one that we saw in just a couple sideboards, mono red matchup. You guys decided to move it into the main deck. Now, in the finals, we saw it play a role in the mirror match, which is something I think a lot of people didn't think about. What matchups do you like this in, and what matchups do you feel like you put it in the main deck to kind of hedge for?
Basically the aggro decks.
Just the aggro decks?
Mono red.
I honestly just think it's good against everything. Like, I never boarded out both of them. And it's just Spectral Procession a lot of the time, you know? And like, if your opponent's ever ahead on board, putting 3 1/1s into play is just a huge way to like catch back up and make your counter spells just better again.
Like you make like 3 Hawks, except they're like soldiers too in the ground. Really good.
Would you guys play any more main deck in retrospect? Just like the 2?
Yeah, I mean, like when it's bad, it's
like
not, it doesn't do anything.
I would probably main more if I was playing less creatures. Like if I would have decided to cut the spell sky, then I would probably go up on Timely Reinforcement because you need creatures to equip your sword. Otherwise, the sword is like doesn't do anything.
Fair enough. Another card missing from your list, Oblivion Ring, is one that you guys didn't have. You guys decided to cut the rings, and you have like a bunch of Into the Royals, more removal spells. Was the decision there based on more Into the Royals in the format, more ways to deal with Oblivion Ring, or do you guys think it's just too slow for this format?
Yeah, it was too slow. Like I want like the only matches it really comes in against is like the mirror match and like Temper Steel. You want like you're gonna get rid of the like Temper Steel, so the Revoke is just faster. Plus the Revoke gets rid of an O-Ring too, so like the O-Ring.
O-Ring's kind of risky too because like if you're playing blue, you really should be playing Into the Royal. Most people are playing 3 or 4, and if you're not like against the other decks, Revoke is just faster and better. And against O-Ring, like we have Into the Royals and Revokes as well, so we never want to get blown out, you know.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to say O-Ring a Jace or a Gideon and just have it come back to haunt you big time.
Whenever someone O-Ringed our stuff, we usually like got a major advantage out of it.
Were you guys pretty happy with the main deck? Would you guys change anything going forward?
Pittsburgh. I don't know.
Maybe like
it's hard.
Like usually I just change like a couple cards depending on how I feel the format is going to be. But like basically I leave the same.
If you guys think that the same mirror match is going to become popular in the main deck, would you add a Sphinx, a Sun Titan, something to the main?
I'll probably throw 2 Sun Titan in the board if I expect the mirror match to get like big. But that's about it. That card is really good in the mirror match.
But nothing for the main deck?
Not really. Maybe 4 Into the Royal, or like sometimes that could be too much. But like nothing really.
Going into this tournament, I tested like Edgar's deck a bit like throughout the week, so that way I got some practice with it or whatever. And like having 3 Sword of Feast and Famine kind of felt awkward, but it's just like the best win condition really, and it's kind of overpowered. So
yeah, like
you know, it sucks when you draw 2 of them. So maybe you'd want to like get rid of 1. So if you want to add like Sun Titans, for example, like I'd probably cut a Sword and a Spellskite, but like I don't think you really want to.
No, you really want to curve out and like turn 2 Hawk, turn 3 Sword. Like that's like the nut draw basically.
Right. And you can't afford to play 4 Swords. You can't draw too many of them. But 3 is about the right number.
3 is fine because you have enough like cantrips, like you have Pyridings and Jaces, and you naturally draw 1, which is like really good.
And it plays really well with the third Spellskite too, because like Spellskite's just a counter spell you have on the table. So when you set up your sword turn, you have the Spellskite on the table, and you have multiple counter spells.
When they dismember you, like you just redirect it, or try to like burn the hawk, and
just gives you a lot of play. Look into the sideboard. Then what would you guys? So we'll just run down real fast. So a third dismember or fourth dismember. You want that in the blue-red matchups against anything else?
And against
Tempered
green
Steel,
decks,
actually.
Tempered Steel and green decks.
Okay, and you were probably happy with fourth dismember.
Yeah, and the Cobra deck's Rug.
That card
Rug is kills Cobra really fast. It's really good.
Card is unbelievable, right?
Yeah, it's what pushes almost every deck just above the top. It's really hard to play any creatures that are bad against Dismember right now.
Like 4, 5 toughness creatures because they just die to Dismember. So like Titans and like Sphinx are the only thing that survive it.
I guess third timely reinforcements, 2 Day of Judgment. That's kind of like some of your anti-beatdown cards there, along with the 2 Ratchet Bombs you guys have.
Ratchet Bomb was for the Temper Steel deck. It comes in against the Twin deck, and that's about it. And the aggro deck, like mono red, because it kills Shrine, it kills like Lava Master Goblin Guide.
Ratchet Bomb's just the best card against the Steel deck, and it's definitely the deck you need to like hedge against.
Yeah, like against Alex when I played him in top 8, like game 2, the match ended with him having 2 lands and like a Shrine in play, and I had like all my cards because like I just like Ratchet Bomb him for like all his cards, like at least 3 cards I got for Ratchet Bomb.
Wow.
So like it's really good.
Mental Misstep, that's something not everybody has. You guys like the missteps in this deck?
You need it against mono red. You gotta stop the Goblin Guide.
It's way too good against mono red. Like
and
it's really good against black decks.
Discard spells,
Yeah. Discard like Inquisition would be really good against this deck. You know, and mental misstepping it usually puts you way ahead because they need to like clear the way to know what they're doing. You know, otherwise they like tap out. The Jund deck, for example, just like tap out for something and they never know what you have.
Yeah. Plus, against Matt Nass Twin deck, he was playing 16 1 mana cost cards, so I brought it in against him game 2.
Right. Ponders, Preordains, just any of those.
Dispels.
And Dispel is the one
Huge,
that's important. So like you try to like save it till they dispel you. When you like they try to go off and you dismember them.
Right.
So you missed up the dispel and they don't see it coming.
Yeah, that's definitely really strong. 1 or 2 flash freeze for Valka just to show up that matchup a little bit more.
Last week I wasn't prepared for the Valka matchup and I lost it round 1. So this week I came prepared with like the 2 flash freeze and the game deprived.
2 Revoke Existence, you guys mentioned for Tempered Steel, that's the main reason.
Against the mirror too, like swords and O-rings, and Spellskites even.
Spellskite, yeah.
Deprive, you just want another counter spell.
A hard counter for like the Valka matchup. And then in the mirror match, I guess.
Just having like a hard counter in a control deck's pretty nice, like when you don't have like the ultimate inevitability, you know.
And then who do you guys think was right in the end? So you had 1 negate, you had 1 Sun Titan. Now Sun Titan we saw pretty much trump the finals, but which is better for you guys on the weekend? Where do you guys think you would put with the slot?
I like my negate because like I'm not a big fan of like playing 1-ups. And, like it's either like 2, so like I didn't want to play 1 Sun Titan because it didn't feel right, and like the negate is just the extra counter for the Valka matchup.
What's your argument for Sun Titan, Nick?
I just think it's incredible. Like
sweet card.
Fine card. Like, yeah.
I definitely wanted it against the Valakut matchup. I thought the Valakut I was definitely most scared of Valakut going into this tournament, and I think Sun Titan's better than Negate there, and it's also I think it's better in the mirror, and just like I like having a real trump. You know, like
probably next week I'll probably like buy room for 2 Sun Titan in the board.
Yeah. All of your counter spells like are conditional. You have mana leaks and spell pierces. So if the game goes like really late, you know you're usually going to be advantaged because you have like better cards usually and like more card advantage than most opponents. But you still don't have like some way to just like okay, I don't really care what you're doing. I'm just going to trump you. You know, getting back Spellskite, Tech Edge, or Squadron Hawk beats pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Anything you guys would change about the board going forward? You mentioned Sun Titan.
Anything else? Possibly. That's about it.
Anything else that just didn't underperform or overperform that you would want more of?
No, I was really comfortable with all the cards I chose. Like it seemed fine. Just maybe Sun Titan for the mirror match. Depends how big I expect the mirror match to get. Like I think it might like become again like Clawblade mirrors again. So probably Sun Titan.
Yeah, if there was some better card against Valakut than Flash Freeze, I would like it.
And I might possibly cut Gideon too because like he's never good in the mirror match. I didn't feel like it was good.
So you might change Flash Freeze if you find something better, maybe.
But like I think it's just like the best part of your strategy. You can't play like. Spreading Seas doesn't really work out as well when you don't have as much stuff going on, you know? Like Jason Stoneforge really made you just like do whatever the hell you wanted, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of the mirror match, so a couple things. We noticed in the mirror, you guys kept in your Spellskites. Or at least Edgar did in third game. You had yours in second game.
I kept in 2 Spellskites for, I think, yeah.
And you kept in how many, Edgar?
That's in 3.
Okay, now why'd you guys leave in your Spellskites? Because Brad and I were talking about that. We weren't sure why you wanted them this matchup, protect against Into the Royal,
I guess it protects Into the Royal, and for the simple fact that like if you curve out to like a Hawk and you equip it, like more than likely they're gonna leave like 3 to 2 dismembers, so you kind of want it for that, and for Into the Royal, I guess. for like his revokes, he was gonna bring revokes, like redirected.
Sure.
Right.
If you feel the same way with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's just like there's definitely going to be Instant Royals and Dismembers being thrown around, and it just protects stuff.
Plus, you still need creatures. Like some creatures still equip your sword with, otherwise they become like useless. So like Spell Guide, you could equip it like randomly.
Right. Like the Squadron Hawk's already the most important card in the mirror, and if you cut you're cutting a timely reinforcements, and if you cut all the Spell Guides, you're just like really lacking on creatures.
Yeah, lacking
too.
creatures. So like you need creatures to equip a sword.
So now we're going to start fielding any Twitter questions. So if you guys have any Twitter questions out there, send them to us on Twitter. We'd be happy to answer them. Endo Crisis on Twitter asks, what do you guys think about Sword of War and Peace if the mirror becomes big? Is that a big thing, or without Stoneforge defined it?
Yeah, without
it's just no
Stoneforge,
good?
it's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't think it's good enough. You're usually winning the Squadron Hawk Wars anyway, just because you have like 3 Dismember, 3 Into the Royal, and 3 Swords. Yeah. And if you're losing it, Timely Reinforcements, that's like the best place for Timely Reinforcements, where they go Hawk and you don't have one, and then just like getting the 3/1/1s is the most important thing.
Speaking of Timely Reinforcements, we were wondering, how good is that card in the mirror match? Do you guys want them in the mirror? Do you guys? It seems like it's either hit or miss.
I think it's better on the draw.
Yeah.
Because they go Hawk, and then you can like Timely Reinforcements. Or if it's on the play, I guess if they go Hawk, you go turn 3 Timely Reinforcements too. But you don't get the 6 life. I don't think it's relevant. But you get the 3 dudes, which is pretty big.
I think actually like it's really good game 1, where like they're not threatening Day of Judgment at all. Like pretty much the consensus is that you don't want Day of Judgment in the main, and it's just like, they have to trade with it. They have to trade their 1/1s, their Hawks or whatever.
So how did you guys end up sideboarding then? If you guys took out 1 reinforcements, you said?
Yeah, 1 reinforcement.
So you took out 1 reinforcement.
1 reinforcement. Depending on the draw, on the draw I took like a mana leak.
Okay.
A sword. Yeah, I only brought in like 4 cards.
Yeah, I only boarded in 4 cards.
Yeah, these 4 cards. That's it. 2 revoke. So that's how many? 1, 2. I took out Dismember.
Okay. So you cut a Dismember.
Cut a Dismember.
So you cut Dismember, a sword,
mana leak,
timely reinforcements for negate, deprive, and 2 revoke.
Yeah.
And you cut one of your spell skites.
I cut a spell skite.
Yeah, you got a spell skite. I forgot what I cut, but like
1 mana leak and 2 Dismembers for the Sun Titan, a Day of Judgment, and a revoke and the deprive.
Okay. How do you guys feel about Joey Pasco asks on Twitter, why no Consecrated Sphinx? You guys, we talked about it a little bit earlier, or Sun Titan for the same reasons.
Yeah, well, like I said, last week I played it.
Right.
And it was
to reiterate.
okay. It was like mediocre, but this week I wanted it to be like much faster, so I don't want to have a 6 drop.
Yeah, you
Like,
rarely
that's the only reason, yeah.
You rarely run out of cards before the game ends, and when you do, you have so many lands to activate that like just having a 6 drop stuck in your hand. Like,
yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, looking at your land base, I mean, you have 3 Tech Edge, 4 Tech Edge, 3 Inkmob Nexus, 4 Colonnades. I mean, you have so much you can do with your mana on every single turn.
That's another reason why, like, because like instead of like casting a Sphinx, I probably would just want to animate my land, just like Tech for 4, and like try to like kill him fast. Instead of like just playing a Sphinx, I could get countered.
You guys have 26 lands, is that correct?
26, yeah.
So were you guys happy with 26, 7 colorless? Would you guys want 27th maybe? Or?
I've always been playing 26. 26 is a good amount because like the reason why 26 is good in this deck is because you curve out your curve is low, so you really don't need more than 4 lands, 5 lands really.
Yeah. And like Gideon's a card that I like. If your opponent's playing more lands than you or whatever, or you, if in the matchups where you would want 27 lands, you don't cast Gideon until like turn 10.
Yeah,
sure. And especially like you were talking about cutting Gideons too.
I think I may cut Gideon maybe. And I don't like if the mirror match becomes popular. Like Gideon, I never liked it in the mirror match.
Yeah, if you guys cut your Gideons, then 26 lands becomes
26
way less
perfect,
relevant.
Yeah.
Or the number of lands. Let's see anything else happening on here. Any last words? Anything else you guys would give advice? People who have how about this? So if people played the old Copplay deck, they know how to play Stoneforge Mystic, Jace Mind Sculptor. What is the main difference with this one? You need to know to be successful with this version of Copplay as opposed to the old one.
Hawk is the most important card in this matchup. I think.
I guess it's just that you don't have inevitability.
Okay.
Like you don't want the game to go super late against most decks. Like even against Tempered Steel, like if the game goes really late, a Shrine is really lethal, so you need to like have a way to like get pressure on the table quickly, or just have like all of the answers, like in the Splinter Twin matchup, for example. But still, like just a turn 2 Hawk is easily
like in the Splinter Twin matchup, Hawk won me both games because like I just kept like having counter magic and just played a Hawk every turn and just attack, and just had lift counter magic throughout the whole game, or bounce spells or dismember.
Yeah, I remember before in the Splinter Twin matchup, like Hawk was just one of the most important cards you could have because it's hard for them to deal with a bunch of Hawks. How do you feel about your matchups in general? So you guys feel Twin is pretty good with this version.
Yeah.
Tempered Steel, that was something that people were worried about maybe before.
Yeah. This build is like this build. The only matchup I would fear is probably like either a black deck or Valakut. Game 1. That's about it.
Valakut's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
The red decks are really can be pretty scary. Pure Steel Paladin, like Caleb's deck from last week.
Oh yeah, Paladin.
That would be pretty, like awkward. But like again, Ratchet Bomb's really good. I probably want more Ratchet Bombs going into next week because most of the decks that I'm scared of, like Ratchet Bomb's good against.
Except for Valakut, I suppose.
Except for Valakut, right.
Would you guys consider maybe playing more Flash Freezes then, or you said you were looking for something better than Flash Freeze?
So because Sunshine comes in for Valakut.
Yeah,
I should have I should find room for 2 Sunshine, and I think that should be it. That should be good for the.
Now the old versions of the Cobblade were pretty good against Valakut. What makes this one a little worse?
Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, Stoneforge and Jace.
Because like, you get to put in your sword really fast, and you equip it, and then you start like discarding their card to hand. So like that's really good against Valakut. If you connect one time with sword against Valakut, more than likely you're gonna win.
Well, fair enough. Sounds like seedings are going up for the legacy portion, so I'll let you guys go try and win another tournament. You guys playing same 75 again?
No, I'm playing Esper. He's playing Blue White.
All right. Well, fair enough. Well, good luck, guys. Great having you guys in the booth. Congratulations to both you, Edgar and Nick. We'll see you guys shortly for Legacy. Catch you guys then.